So, who called it? Oh my goodness. So, I just want y'all to know that everything I told you was going to happen, sure enough, happened. Okay? I told you guys in my last video, I was like, hey, we need to be on code. We need to focus on these outlets that Kamala Harris is going to be going to because she is running as a black woman. Let me just say, any man, woman, child, whoever is talking about Kamala Harris ain't black, okay, that's a trick bag. Kamala Harris ain't black, she's an Indian, okay, she's never been black. Those are bad actors, and bad actors can be comprised of either ignorant people and they don't know any better, or just bona fide stupid people. So bad actors combined with COINTELPRO, meaning purposeful disinformation to be spread to a specific group of people, black people. Those are the only type of individuals who are saying this drivel, okay? Anyone, let me be sure, anyone talking about making this a race issue of Kamala Harris not being black, foolishness, drivel. That's white Republican, white nationalist propaganda. Dismiss them entirely. Because I don't care if Kamala Harris was Asian. I don't care if she was a polar bear. I don't care if she was white. I don't care if she was as far as Hispanic. I don't care. What I care about is what can I get from this individual. That is it. That is all I care about. I don't care what she's about. I don't care if she was trans, gay, lesbian. I don't care any of that. What can I get from this individual? Now, like I said, Kamala Harris is running as a black woman first. Sure, Indian American may come as a runner-up, but black woman first because there is more social currency in running as that. As we can see by the black, as far as a lot of black entertainers, a lot of black media who is supporting her. A lot of black women, a lot of black men. Now, I told y'all that she was going to be going to these outlets. Sure enough, she went to The Root. Now, The Root can be a hit or a miss, because I've read articles from The Root where I was like, what in the world? And I read articles from The Root and was like, okay, that's fair. She went to The Root, and thank God that The Root was on code. Now, as I said before, there is no code without code enforcers. All these black YouTubians, all these black Twitter spaces, all these black accounts talking about the code, we gotta be on code, we gotta be on code. There is no code without code enforcement. So any of these individuals who want to constantly talk about the code, if they are not going to mobilize code enforcers, if they're not going to organize code enforcers, then they're just talking out of their butt. Okay, they're just talking platitudes. The same thing that they want to ridicule many politicians for doing the same thing, just talking. That's great. Okay, listen, if you don't like whatever Charlemagne, we're going to cover Steve Harvey. I'm going to cover that Sambo in another video. All these individuals, that's what that means. In order to be on code, you have to be on code for the empowerment of black Americans in this country. That is what that means in a nutshell. There are many ways and forms to go about that, but that's what that means. The Root, being on code, asked her about what? Reparations. Now, there are priorities. We are going to have to take a shotgun approach when going into this election. What I mean by that, it can't just be reparations. Absolutely, if you want reparations at the top of the ticket, by all means. But there has to be other issues that the person can try and achieve, okay? When you have a president is going to have, hey, this is priority. These are also other things that we wanted to accomplish because they have to have something at the end of their 4 years, okay? If they're stuck in Congress and they don't pass anything, they haven't done anything, they have nothing to run off of. So we have got to make her job easier. Reparations is key. Qualified immunity is second. Hey, education as far as yada, yada, yada. Shotgun approach. That doesn't mean that there's not a list of priorities. That's not what I'm saying. Now, when it comes to reparations, they got her to say what I've been advocating for. We needed something on paper. We needed something out of the horse's mouth that we can tie her to the next 4 years and leading up to this election. What Kamala Harris said was that she is open to reparations. She's open to some form of reparations. They pressed her again because she goes on to talk about, well, you have to understand 200 years and everything, yada, yada. We already know the history, boo. I'm glad you know the history. Okay, but we already know the history. You don't need a revisiting of the history of why reparations is needed. They pressed her again, they said. And she says, yes, she'd be open to looking at something of reparations. Okay, great. Very loose, okay, very loose answer. We can work with that. That is what we can work with. I can work with that. You should be able to work with that. The point of the matter is that she is open some form of reparations. Now, all these mofos talking about tangibles. More tangibles. I need tangibles. Look, we got to have tangible or no tangible, no vote. That's great, Negro. But if you ask any of these individuals talking about tangibles, you have to understand they don't have any plan of attack for tangibles, okay? Tangibles is anything you can touch, feel, or grab, right? That's what tangible is. If you do that without specifying what that looks like, what that will turn into is Rodeo Boulevard into Obama Boulevard. That's tangibles. What that will turn into is a Black Lives Matter flag, okay, on the street. That's tangibles. What that will turn into is a reparations mural. That's what that will turn into. So you've got to be clear and concise with these people. You have to understand what avenues they can take and what obstacles they will face. A lot of these Negroes on these platforms aren't even going to vote. The same people talking about, well, you shouldn't vote for Kamala. That's a trick bag, okay? I'm telling you that, family. That's a trick bag. These Negroes don't even vote. They are meaningless, okay? Any Negro who doesn't vote or is not looking to vote, move them aside, okay? Move them aside. They are meaningless in the ultimate plan. The plan is voting, right? That is what we're arguing about. She is trying to do something for us, or at least give us nice words of encouragement, right? Little baby promises in return for a vote. Quid pro quo, exactly what I told you. I told you she's not in the best position. She got a few months to win this election. When in desperate times calls for desperate measures. Now, having said that, I know this is not the end-all be-all. Do not give yourselves a pat on the back because you got Kamala Harris to talk about, well, I believe in some form of reparations. That is a good start. Now, the moment in time Trump wants to talk about, well, I believe in cash payments for reparations who are descendants of slaves and chattel slavery in this country. Not only that, but I believe in land and all that. Then, by all means, pay close attention to him. Until that happens, Trump is irrelevant to me. I'm just letting you know. The man who's talking about as far as attacking Second Amendment, attacking the First Amendment on behalf of Jews, attacking as far as not qualified immunity, but attacking American citizens, making this a police state, giving immunity to officers and federal officers, that's meaningless to me. I don't even want to hear anything about him. If he wants to talk about reparations, I'll hear him. I'll hear what his proposition is. The greatest thing that would happen if Trump actually mentions reparations. Absolutely, I agree in reparations. He hasn't mentioned a platinum plan, so any black person trying to vote for Trump or trying to get other black people to vote for Trump, because this is what they're trying to do. They'll attack Kamala, attack, but won't say anything about Trump. Well, he a white supremacist, but, Kamala, she worked. That's what they'll try and do. Just notice the hustle, okay? A lot of bad actors, a lot of COINTELPRO going on. Moment in time Trump wants us to talk about reparations, great. Because then we'll go right back to Kamala. Well, Trump said he's going to give us cash reparations. What are you going to do, Kamala? How are you going to one up that? That's the best bet we have. If Trump were to do that, that would be a godsend. Because that sure enough will be pushed in Kamala's face. Well, Trump is talking about cash payments. Trump is talking about giving land. Trump is talking about this. What are you going to do, Kamala? How are you going to beat that? It goes back to price matching, right? You ever done a price match? Like, well, Amazon is charging this amount, Walmart. Are you going to match that price? Absolutely, we'll match that price. Great. That's what we need. It's good for right now. That's great. We can work with that. We got smoke. We need some fire. We need to go back and press her. Every single black outlet she gets on needs to have that question of reparations. What does that look like to you, Kamala? Does that look like cash payment? We need to get the specificities of her form of reparations. What does that look like to you, Kamala? That's what we do in the upcoming months coming to November. You press her, just like the Roots did. Well, the Breakfast Club's got to do it. Roland Martin's got to do it. Whoever she goes on, the next platform she goes on. Steve Harvey, he's lost in the sauce. But anyone she goes to, questions have got to come up. Hey, boom, this is what we're interested in. Boom, this is what we need. Boom, boom, boom. That's what's got to happen. This has to happen. So we can have her and tie her to her word. Now, say she wins the Oval Office. Listen, that's just the beginning, pimpin'. A lot of Negroes think that, she says she's open to a form of reparations. Okay, well, all I got to do is sit back and enjoy the show. That is not how politics works, pimpin'. Okay, that's not how anything in life works. Okay? Nothing in life works. You hire an employee, you have to get the employee on the program. And then after you get them on the program, you have to make sure that they're being productive. You have to. That's just how that works. So once she gets into office, I don't care if it's year 1, year 2, year 3, or year 4 that she does reparations. I understand there's a lot of things on the table for America besides reparations. I get that. All I care is that you get it done. All right? Within those 4 years, it could be the first year, it could be the second year, it could be the third year, it could be the fourth year, is that you get it done. That's it. That's really it. And it's going to be up to us to make sure we remind her every single day. If not every single day, every week. If not every week, every other week. If not every other week, every month. If not every month, every other month. Okay? That's how that works. If it's not every other month, then every quarter. That's how that needs to happen. Because if this is what you want, you have to relay that to them. Nobody's going to do anything out of the kindness of the heart. Nobody's going to do anything because they promised to do something. That's not how that works. You have got to remind people, because what black people have done, unfortunately, politically, has allowed everyone else to treat us like clowns. If you see a man and he gets slapped by another person, are you going to treat that man with respect? Probably not. Because you're going to be like, well, he wasn't treated with respect by that person. Well, why am I going to treat with respect, right? I'm going to treat him how everyone else treats him, like a biatch. That's how that's going to work. So what we have relayed to everyone, every group, whether it's Mexicans, Latinos, whites, Asians, that's what we've relayed, that we're a bunch of bitches.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Unfortunately, that's what we've relayed to them, that we're a bunch of political bitches. And that's why we get treated as a joke, because that's how you've been allowed to this. That's how you've allowed people to treat us. You get treated, not how you want to be treated, but how you allow other people to treat you. Moment in time you get some disrespect, you check that disrespect. And you let them know that is unacceptable behavior and unacceptable discourse when talking to me. That's what we need to have, except politically speaking. That's what we need to have. Or else we're going to get another Obama 2.0. You're going to get a bunch of promises, and not saying that even Negroes even ask for promises from Obama, but you're going to get promises and they're going to be unfulfilled promises. Because if you're not willing to press her and make sure that she's on the job and doing work and being productive, then she's not. Her attention is going to sway. It's just like with your girl. If you're not doing what your girl needs, if you're not treating her right, loving her right, okay, getting to her needs and wants and desires, whatnot, then her attention is going to sway. And it's going to sway to the other Negro who's telling her, hey, I can do all of that, but more. It's a job. I know it's unfortunately, but it is a job. Okay. And it's a job that's going to pay us in dividends if we can make this work, make her work for us. That's what people need to understand. I don't want to hear anything else. Because people want to say, well, Lucas, she said this about reparations. I told you all that was 10 years ago. Upon you being now a presidential nominee, a potential president-elect, all that changes. All that poof disappears, especially in the position she's in, which is absolutely dire to win this election in the limited time that she has left. Anyways, guys, that's the video. I don't have any time for foolishness, okay? If you want to argue that Kamala ain't black and she not going to do anything, well, what if she says this and does something? I ain't got time for you Negroes. I really don't, okay? Because for me, I genuinely feel, as I said before, we only had 5 years left, and this is really it, okay? This is a precipice of everything I've been talking about. This is it. And if we can mobilize and organize to get her to answer these questions and to get her, on something, then I'm sure that the connections and the networks we make via this process, we can hold that up during her election, okay, during her presidential term. That's the whole point. So anyone's doubters, anyone talking about this, oh, she a tether, I don't have time for them. I'm going to ban them. It's as simple as that, because we got a job to do. Okay, we have a job to do. It's as simple as that. If you don't want to do the job, then go ahead. Be somewhere else. Go put your thumb up your butt. Okay, if you don't want to vote, then you're irrelevant anyway. Republicans don't care about you, and Democrats sure don't care about you because you're not going to vote. Why do I care what you have to say? You're not even in the game. Bye. Next. So if you have a disagreement, you know where to find me. Friday through Sunday, disagreement day. Number on screen. You call in, we talk it out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment. Let me know what you guys think, and subscribe, and that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing. That's what we've relayed, that we're a bunch of bitches.